Greetings, science fans and future world changers. Bill Nye here, and today we're embarking on an extraordinary thought experiment. Imagine a world where your passion for science, technology, engineering, and math, what we call STEM, doesn't just lead to incredible discoveries but also to astronomical rewards. We're talking about a hypothetical scenario where every 5 days you get to step into the shoes of a different kind of scientist, and for your 5 days of dedicated work, you receive a prize that grows exponentially. It's a wild ride through the fascinating world of STEM careers, where the stakes get higher and the numbers get bigger than you can possibly imagine. Now I know what you're thinking. Bill, this sounds like a game show, and in a way, it is. But it's a game show designed to open your eyes to the sheer breadth and wonder of scientific inquiry. From the smallest cells to the largest galaxies, scientists are the explorers of our time. They ask the big questions, they solve the tough problems, and they push the boundaries of human knowledge. This isn't just about the mind-boggling sums of money, it's about appreciating the value and the excitement inherent in each of these critical fields. So put on your lab coat, grab your safety goggles, and get ready to consider the possibilities. Our journey begins with the fundamental study of life itself and will accelerate through the cosmos, deep into the Earth, and into the very code that makes us who we are. Each stop on our tour will last for 5 days. 5 days to immerse yourself in a new discipline, 5 days to contribute to our collective understanding of the universe, and then a reward, a big one. Are you ready? Let's get started, because science, and in this case winning, rules. For your first 5 days, you are a biologist. You're out in the field, maybe in a lush rainforest, cataloging new species of plants and insects, or perhaps you're in a state-of-the-art laboratory, studying the intricate dance of cells under a powerful microscope. You're exploring the very definition of life, from the single-celled organism to the complex ecosystems that make up our world. You're observing, hypothesizing, experimenting, and documenting. It's fundamental foundational work that underpins so much of what we know about our planet and ourselves. After 5 days of contributing to this vital field, you've earned it. A cool $1 million appears in your account. A fantastic start. But don't get too comfortable, your next assignment is just around the corner. Your next 5 days are spent as a chemist. Welcome to the world of atoms, molecules, and reactions. You're wearing the white coat and safety glasses, surrounded by bubbling beakers, intricate glassware, and humming analytical machines. Maybe you're a synthetic chemist designing a new molecule that could become a life-saving drug. Or you could be an analytical chemist developing methods to detect minute pollutants in our water supply. You are manipulating the very building blocks of matter, creating new substances and understanding the properties of existing ones. It's a field of transformation and creation. For your 5 days of molecular mastery, your reward is a significant leap. $2 billion. The power of chemistry is immense, and so is your new bank balance. Buckle up, because for the next 5 days, you're a physicist. You are delving into the fundamental principles that govern the universe. Energy, matter, motion, force. You might be a theoretical physicist, scribbling complex equations on a massive chalkboard, trying to unify gravity with quantum mechanics. Or you could be an experimental physicist working at a particle accelerator like the Large Hadron Collider, smashing subatomic particles together to glimpse the origins of the cosmos. You're asking the biggest questions of all. What is reality? Where did everything come from? For wrestling with these cosmic conundrums for 5 days, you receive a truly astronomical sum, $3 trillion. You're not just thinking about the universe, you're being rewarded on a universal scale. From the theoretical, we return to the terrestrial. For the next 5 days, you are an ecologist. You are the ultimate systems thinker, studying the intricate and delicate relationships between living organisms and their environment. Your laboratory is the world itself, a sprawling forest, a vibrant coral reef, a windswept tundra, or even a bustling city park. You're tracking animal populations, analyzing soil samples, and modeling how climate change might impact a fragile wetland. You understand that every part is connected, that the health of the planet depends on the balance of these complex systems. Your work is crucial for our survival. For 5 days of protecting and understanding our planetary home, your reward is $4 quadrillion. Now we go deep. For the next 5 days you're a geologist, a scientist of the Earth. You're not just looking at the surface, you're studying the history, structure, and processes of our entire planet. You might be rappelling into a volcano to collect lava samples, drilling ice cores in Antarctica to read ancient climate records, or using seismic data to map the layers of the Earth's core. You hold a rock in your hand and you don't just see a rock, you see a story millions of years in the making. You are a planetary historian and a structural engineer all in one. For 5 days of unearthing our planet's secrets, you receive a reward of geological proportions, $5 quintillion. Let's shrink down way down. For the next 5 days, you are a microbiologist. You are exploring the unseen world of microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa. This invisible majority rules the planet, and you're the one studying it. You could be in a clean room lab, cultivating bacteria to produce biofuels, or using a gene editing tool like CRISPR to understand viral infections. You might be investigating the complex microbiome in the human gut that's essential for our health. These tiny organisms have a colossal impact, and your work is at the forefront of medicine, energy, and environmental science. For 5 days in this miniature universe, you get a macro-sized prize, $6 sextillion. Now let's look up, way up. For the next 5 days, you are an astronomer. Your gaze is fixed on the heavens. You might be at a remote mountaintop observatory, guiding a massive telescope to capture the faint light of a distant galaxy. Or you could be a radio astronomer, analyzing signals from pulsars and black holes. Perhaps you're a planetary scientist, poring over data from the James Webb Space Telescope, searching for the chemical signatures of life on an exoplanet. You are charting the vast, dark expanse, seeking to understand our place in the cosmos. For 5 days of looking into the infinite, you receive a reward that's truly out of this world, $7 septillion. Let's bring our focus back to our own atmosphere. For the next 5 days, you are a meteorologist. You're not just reading a teleprompter, you are a true atmospheric scientist. You're launching weather balloons, interpreting complex satellite imagery, and running sophisticated computer models to predict the weather. Your work isn't just about whether to bring an umbrella, it's about issuing timely warnings for hurricanes, tornadoes, and blizzards that save lives and property. You study the chaotic, powerful, and beautiful system of our planet's climate. For 5 days of predicting the unpredictable, you earn a storm of cash, $8 octillion. Now we go from the sky to the very code of life. For the next 5 days you are a geneticist. You are a code breaker, but the code you're working on isn't digital, it's biological. It's DNA. You're in a lab, using gene sequencing machines to read the blueprint of an organism. You might be a medical geneticist, tracing the inheritance of a disease through a family tree to find a cure. Or, you could be a population geneticist, studying the DNA of ancient humans to understand our own evolution. You are reading and even rewriting the book of life. For 5 days of decoding our deepest secrets, you get a reward of $9 non-illion. Time to take the plunge! For the next 5 days you are a marine biologist. Over 70% of our planet is covered by water, and it's your job to explore it. You might be in a submersible, descending into the crushing blackness of the Mariana Trench to discover bizarre new life forms that thrive without sunlight. Or you could be a coral reef specialist, working to restore bleached reefs and preserve biodiversity. You could be tracking the epic migrations of great white sharks, or studying the complex vocalizations of humpback whales. The ocean is the last true frontier on Earth, and you are its explorer. For 5 days in the deep blue, you surface with $10 decillion. For the next 5 days, you explore the most complex object in the known universe, the human brain. You are a neuroscientist. You are mapping the 3 pounds of tissue that create consciousness, thought, emotion, and memory. You might be using an fMRI machine to see which parts of the brain light up when a person listens to music, or you could be at a microscopic level, studying how individual neurons form connections. Your work is key to understanding and treating conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and depression. You're trying to understand how we understand. For 5 days of contemplating consciousness, you are rewarded with $11 undecillion. Let's get back to our roots, literally. For the next 5 days, you are a botanist, a scientist of the plant kingdom. Plants form the foundation of most life on Earth, producing the oxygen we breathe and the food we eat. You might be deep in the Amazon searching for a rare orchid that could hold the key to a new medicine. Or you could be in an agricultural lab developing drought-resistant crops to help feed a growing global population. You understand the complex chemistry, genetics, and ecology of everything from tiny mosses to giant sequoias. For 5 days of cultivating our green world, you receive $12 duodecillion. Now for the animal kingdom. For the next 5 days, you are a zoologist. You study animals in all their incredible diversity, from the smallest insect to the largest blue whale. Your work could take you to the African savanna, observing the social structure of an elephant herd. You might be a herpetologist, studying the venom of snakes for medical applications. Or you could be an ornithologist, tracking the migratory patterns of birds across continents. You are a champion for the animal world, working on conservation, behavior, and physiology. For 5 days of dedication to our planet's creatures, you earn $13 trillion. We turn inward again, to the battlefield within our own bodies. For the next 5 days you are an immunologist. You are the general, studying the incredibly complex defense system that protects us from a constant barrage of pathogens. You're in a lab, identifying how T-cells target and destroy invaders, or developing new vaccines that can teach the immune system to recognize a future threat. Your work is the reason we have conquered diseases like smallpox and polio, and it's our best hope against new pandemics and even cancer. For 5 days of mastering our internal army, you get $14 quatuordecillion. Let's zoom out from a single immune system to the health of entire populations. For the next 5 days, you are an epidemiologist. You are a disease detective. When an outbreak occurs, you are on the front lines, tracing its source, understanding its spread, and developing strategies to contain it. You use statistics, interviews, and lab data to see the big picture of public health. You don't just study diseases, you study their patterns in society, looking for risk factors and preventative measures. Your work saves millions of lives by stopping epidemics before they start. For 5 days of protecting humanity, you receive $15 quindecillion. Let's feel the earth move under our feet. For the next 5 days you are a seismologist. You study earthquakes and the propagation of seismic waves through the earth. You're not a fortune teller, but you are the expert who installs and monitors the sensitive seismographs that detect the faintest tremors. You analyze this data to understand fault lines, model the potential impact of a major quake on a city, and develop better building codes. Your work helps create early warning systems that can give people precious seconds to find safety. For 5 days of listening to the heartbeat of the planet, you earn $16 sextillion. Now we combine two powerhouse fields. For the next 5 days you are a biophysicist. You are the bridge between the living world of biology and the fundamental laws of physics. You ask questions like, how does a protein fold into its perfect shape? What are the physics behind a neuron firing an electrical signal? How does a muscle generate force? You might be using atomic force microscopy to feel the surface of a single living cell, or building computer models to simulate the mechanics of DNA. You are applying the rigorous principles of physics to the messy, beautiful complexity of life. For 5 days of bridging these worlds, you get $17 septendecillion. Let's get back to the engine of life. For the next 5 days you are a biochemist. You study the chemical processes within and related to living organisms. You are focused on the molecules of life: proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids. How does a cell convert sugar into energy? What is the chemical reaction that allows our eyes to detect light? You are the mechanic of the cell, figuring out how all the molecular machines work, what fuels them, and how to fix them when they break. Your work is fundamental to medicine and nutrition. For 5 days of tinkering with the engine of life, you get $18 octodecillion. Time to think about the little things that run the world. For the next 5 days, you are an entomologist, a scientist who studies insects. With over 1 million described species, it's the most diverse group of animals on the planet. You might be studying the complex social behavior of ant colonies, the crucial role of bees as pollinators, or how to combat agricultural pests like locusts. You could even be a forensic entomologist using insect life cycles to help solve crimes. Insects are vital to our ecosystems, and you are their expert. For 5 days dedicated to the six-legged world, you receive 19 November-decillion dollars. Finally, we arrive at a field that combines ecology and toxicology. For the next 5 days, you are an ecotoxicologist. You study the effects of toxic chemicals on biological organisms, especially at the ecosystem level. You're the scientist who determines how a pesticide runoff from a farm affects fish populations in a river, or how microplastics in the ocean are working their way up the food chain. You conduct field studies and controlled lab experiments to understand the harmful pathways of pollutants and advise on regulations to protect the environment. Your work is a critical defense for the health of our planet. For 5 days of fighting pollution's effects, you earn a staggering $20 vigintillion. 20 jobs, 20 incredible sums of money, and a journey through the heart of science. We've gone from the jungle floor to distant galaxies, from the Earth's core to the neurons in our brain. The numbers we've used are, of course, fantastical. So large, they lose all meaning. You couldn't spend $20 vigintillion if you tried. But that was never the point. The real point was to showcase the immense, almost infinite value that these scientific professions bring to our world. Each one of these fields is a universe of discovery in itself, filled with passion, curiosity, and the potential to change the world. The true reward isn't the money, it's the knowledge. It's the thrill of discovery, the satisfaction of solving a puzzle that no one has ever solved before, and the profound contribution to human well-being and our understanding of the universe. Whether you're a student trying to figure out what to study, or just someone curious about the world, I hope this little thought experiment has inspired you. The world needs more biologists, more physicists, more epidemiologists. It needs more scientists. It needs more people asking questions and seeking evidence-based answers. So consider this. The next time you look up at the stars, or wonder how your phone works, or take a medication that makes you feel better, thank a scientist. Better yet, become one. The challenges facing our world are great, but the power of the human mind, guided by the scientific method, is greater. The real prize is a better, safer, and more wonderful future for everyone. Thank you for watching. And as always, science rules.